there, it's Kay. Again, you already know what I'm going to talk about. My OCs. Just kidding. I haven't worked on anyone else's but Red's. Shocker, I know. Oh yeah, and then art wall. And then red inspired nails. That I did them. A cigarette. Pierced cherries. That is not a Confederate. This is not a Confederate flag. It's a harness. I'm so tired of it. Anyways, and then the other hand, we got kiss marks, spikes, a belt, blood, wine, and then a dog collar, because Oliver's a freak. Yeah. Yeah, we're going there. Okay. So it's been about 3 weeks since I last did a video, and I'm home without any distractions. I finished my schoolwork. I'm about to yap about my OCs. New hair. There. And this time I'll actually probably put a speed paint somewhere. Or I'll put it, like, I'll split, actually. I'll split me and put, like, it next to me, like, Subway Surfer situation. Editor K, remember that. Remember it. My feet hurt. Move chair. Okay. Storytelling K at your service, okay? Yeah, I know y'all missed me. Spare me. No photos. Okay. And then peep the new iPad background. It's from Eden Sunday. I love you, Pookie. Yes, it's gonna be another you mention because you literally inspire me. I love you so much. I love you. Anyways, okay. Let me open Toy House. The bane of my freaking existence. Okay, and then, so the edition I have in Toy House, like the ending, has been changed as of recent, okay? A lot of the stuff that I read last, like, couple weeks ago, have been changed as well. Keep in mind, Red's story, per usual, is ever so changing. Got it? As long as we've got that out of the way, we're good, okay? But their ending has been changed as of, like, a couple days ago, because I low-key am indecisive and decided, why not? And I was like about to go to sleep, and I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. It was very funny, and then I sent it to Eden Sunday per usual. Alright, so the name has stuck. Red Extended. Y'all will know why. Eden, you know why. Okay, so then I have on their folder on Toy House. I don't want to look down while I'm doing this. I don't care. Y'all are gonna have to deal with it. So on their Toy House, it's... Yes! Sorry, I just got confirmed that I can have a hangout with my friend I haven't seen in, like, all summer. So, 3 words to describe Red. Stylish, narcissistic, and happy? I want to say they're happy, but that would be a lie. Okay, so Red is my world's main character. They are a chronic asshole to everyone, but they have a big heart. Although their lore is tragic, doesn't mean it dulls their sparkle. You've heard of Sharpay Evans, now get ready for Red De La Rue, the biggest bitch in town. I know. Round of applause. Yep. Yeah, okay. Okay, we got it out of the way. Okay. So then when we open their Toy House... Oh, bitch. Bitch. That's what you see. I don't have to show you all of that. Information about Red. We're gonna go through their Toy House together. Oh, I can't have that speed paint. They were naked. Ugh. So Red, their name is Red. Their nickname is Red Rudy. My bad. They are 26. They are non-binary intersex. I have figured it out. They were born with a, what's the word? Uterus. And they also were born with pieces in their, like, I think that's possible. I have to do more research, but in my heart and soul, they grew the boobs on their own, but they got they got a little bit, they got them bigger because they wanted them bigger, because they embraced the feminine side and masculine side of themselves. I love you, Redd. The pronouns are they, them, and they're pansexual. A song that I think of, like, immediately I think of Redd is Phantasm, I don't know, by Jack the Stripper. I love that song so much, and it was literally them. And also Class of 2013 Audio Tree Live version specifically by Metzke. Their role in the, not series, but like my character world, is they're the main character. They're Black and Hispanic, specifically Guatemalan. That's their mom's side. The dad's side is Black, and I finally drew Orion art. They live in New York, and they're an ESFP personality type. They're a stripper and a part-time bartender. They speak fluent English. They speak fluent English and French, and they know the basics of Spanish because they barely spent that much time with their mom. Because, you know, she... Anyways. Their birthday is not in January. It's incorrect. I have to re-evaluate that. I have to fix it. But thank you to Ray for telling me that if they're a Pisces, they can't be born in January. February is when their birthday is. Okay, this is about them. Redd is an utter asshole. They say what they want, regardless of the repercussions, but they are also one of the most understanding and caring people ever. They love their family so much, even though they end up hurting them a few times. They have a drug addiction, and they take after their late mother. I'm gonna turn my iPad upward, because this is upsetting me. I'm sorry, but Apple Pencil can't go. Oh, alright. We're gonna read it like Smosh Reddit stories. Yeah, I know my iPad's huge. Alright. Is it bad I'm gonna use my foot? Y'all can't judge me. Okay. That's not gonna work. Never mind. I can't use my foot to hold it. Yes, we're using my foot. Okay. Then their old description, which y'all already know. They are a middle child. They have a older sister, a younger sister, and a younger stepbrother. They hate kids, but for some reason, kids love them. They bully kids on Roblox with Oliver while baked. Do with that how you will. They obviously keep saying it. Asshole. With a big heart. They have the humor of a 13-year-old boy, and they like the word fuck a lot. That's all I got for personality. The story is a work in progress, but it's mostly done. Be warned, it's sad. Trigger warning. Going forward. Mentions of rape, suicide, self-harm, grooming, CSA, and addiction. I think there's more. I low-key forgot. But their story, triggering if you have dealt with that, or if it triggers you in any way, you don't have to watch, okay? I fully, literally, if you are interested and still want to watch, but you don't want to hear about that part, I can abridge it for you. Just text me and I will reach out to me over Instagram, and I will definitely give you an abridged version if you're interested. Because I've done that for people. Not many, because a lot of people don't really mind, especially if it's not romanticizing, because I hate bitches who romanticize that shit. If you do that, I hate you. Just by the way, if you romanticize, like, anything, like abuse too, I hate you. Oh, forgot. That's also one. Sexual abuse, going with the grooming. There's just a lot. Yeah, a lot. And also underage drinking and weed use. I don't think that really should be a trigger warning, but you never know. I've had this character for 4 years, as y'all probably already know, because I keep talking about them. Redd was born when Francine was 4. The De La Rue family lived in France until Orion got a new job opportunity. Orion's the dad, Ronnie's the mom. Biologic mom. Only mom I acknowledge. Family moved to Canada so Orion could work at this new job. Celeste was born a few years later. So all the De La Rue siblings, besides Arnold, are 4 years apart, just about. Don't ask. The house was not big enough for a family of 5, it appears, so all the kids had to share the master bedroom, and the parents slept in the regular room. There was only one full bathroom and then a half bath near the kitchen. Half baths are toilet and sink, not shower or anything, so yeah. Redd found their mom dead when they were 10 years old. They woke up and went to brush their teeth to then accidentally trip over their mom's body. She had killed herself the night before. The cause of death? An overdose. Redd was barely able to take care of themselves months after their mom died. They would barely eat or sleep because when they slept, they would dream about the day they found their mom. Because duh, it's traumatic. 3 years later, Orion, Redd's dad, marries another woman, Mary. Redd never really liked Mary. She was kind of overly kind, not in a I'm your stepmom way. It was more of a I got you these, now you like me, right? So like a coercion type deal. She always would be really touchy with Redd. They wouldn't say anything because their dad was happy, but something was off. They didn't think she had any bad intentions with the touchiness. They just missed having a mom. So they dealt with it. Teen years, that was childhood, technically. When they turned 15, something changed in the way she was touchy, and he began to be more into the inappropriate touching territory. Instead of hugs and messing with their hair, she would rub their thighs and shoulders, and it kept getting worse. Most of the things she would do are now blocked out of their memory, but they can still feel her touch sometimes. It disgusts them. A few months before Redd turns 16, Mary rapes Redd, while Redd's siblings and dad are in the living room watching TV. This goes on until they turn 17. The day after Redd's birthday party, Francine noticed that Redd has a bruise on their neck. So this one is like not like a hit bruise, it's like they were choked. Like, and you can see like it was because it was on their neck. And it wasn't like a hand type deal. It was like a pressing on their Adam's apple. Redd starts to freeze. Orion tells Francine to leave the room. Oh, my bad. I skipped. My bad. Francine tells her dad. Orion goes into the kids' room and asks Redd to lift up their shirt. Redd can't. Their dad asks why they have a big bruise on their neck. Redd starts to freeze. Orion tells Francine to leave the room and close the door. After she leaves, Orion holds Redd until their body is able to relax. Redd tells their dad what happened. Orion hugs Redd tighter, and then he tells Redd that it's not their fault. He tucks them into bed and goes to the kitchen to make a call. So I wanted that scene to feel more like Redd having their childhood brought back for a little bit. Because, you know, they matured fast because their mom died, so they had to take on the role of the middle child who was helping their dad with Francine and all that. Like they were two biggest helpers, and then their innocence was taken away at such a young age, like especially whenever the mind is still developing, so it does mentally mess them up, as y'all know. And I just wanted it to show how their dad still views them as so young, even though they're approaching 18. Yeah. Orion makes the call, telling Mary to get something from the grocery store. She goes to the store. He then calls the police to report Mary. When Mary arrives back at home, she sees Orion holding Redd's hand, talking to the police. She drops the grocery bag and her purse. The police arrest her. Mary is charged for rape, endangerment of a minor, child endangerment, and possession of CP on her work laptop. Some of the children in the material being her own students. She worked with eighth graders and her own son. That is not added on Toy House, but I thought I'd mention it because that's also something I wrote recently, and I think it's important to mention that she did do that to Arnold before they moved in with Redd's family. And at one point, she, like, whenever she's transitioning over to Redd, like, whenever they get to the age of when she does actually, you know, start getting sexual with Redd, she ends up not forcing, but ends up making them do stuff with each other. And Arnold then resents Redd for getting the attention after that because Mary got bored of her own son for her own pleasure. And there's a scene that I wrote, and I'll share it later. I'll have a timestamp, I think. But I just wanted to let y'all know that's something I added, and yeah. And thank you, Eden, for helping me think that through. Eden Sunday is a really big help throughout all of this, and especially writing lore. I literally kept going option 1 or 2, and they kept giving me it, so that's how I figured out the directions of the story. But no, we were playing Minecraft whenever they asked the question, was Arnold a victim? And I hadn't thought about it, and I was like, it makes the most sense if he was. So I developed him a little bit more, and he ends up having a problem with intimacy and romance and all of that because he had been sexually abused in his early life and into his teen years, even though he's a lot younger than Redd. And he ends up finding love, but he sees it as friendship, and he sees it as he doesn't deserve it. So it goes on for years, and him and that dude end up together. But it takes a lot of therapy and work and getting help. And I am so excited to explore that. I have been thinking, I've never really expanded on Arnold, like, ever. But I think it is going to be really fun. Not to say that stuff is fun, but to be able to research and find people who have shared their stories and stuff, and ask if I can, ask questions in the respectful manner, because, I don't want my story to be, my characters to be inaccurate to real life. I want them to make people feel a connection to them and their story, because I want people to feel comfort with my characters, even though some of them are bad. Like Mary, for example, I don't like her, but I had to have somebody who ended up turning Redd's life into, worse area after their mom. I wanted something like that. And Mary, the reason why she is the way, it's not just the reason, but it could be seen as the reason, is she was sexually abused by one of her biological family members. And it's a cycle of abuse, like generational trauma. And I want to explore that in her character, but to where she can have some sliver of redemption, because humans, regardless of their actions, are in some shape or form redeemable, but that doesn't mean they can be redeemed. You know what I'm talking about? Like some serial killers have stories. It doesn't excuse it, but it gives an explanation. I want Mary to have an explanation and not an excuse. Because everyone's like, you don't have to do that. You can just make her pure evil. But then that wouldn't make my story realistic. I just think her tastes in, reflect on how she was treated when she was that age, and also her warped mental state on the view of love and intimacy. Because what I want to believe for her is Orion and her weren't really intimate ever. Maybe twice, because she'd be like, oh, I'm sick. But she'd be doing that to kids behind his back. I really want to explore that. Sorry. That got really sad. I am so sorry. Timestamp will probably be added somewhere to skip past that. Okay, so the family ends up moving to New York to get away from the country Mary was in for as a safety precaution. The idea was given to them by their extended family, so grandparents and uncles and stuff. Redd ends up becoming a hypersexual as a trauma response. In high school, they ended up being known as the school slut. They weren't actually really a slut. They weren't doing in relationships. They just were yeah, they slept with anyone, and whether it was for fun, pot, alcohol, it didn't matter the gender. The slut the slut era of their high school years ends abruptly when they meet Oliver Smith. So Oliver is a very big turning point in Redd's story because it's the first time they've felt for someone that's not their family, but they don't know that's what it is because, like I said, hypersexuality can warp your view of love and intimacy and stuff, as well as sexual trauma. And I want them to like have a hard time differentiating like lust and love at this point of their life, and they end up being able to do that after the event of the party happens. High school. They never really noticed this kid before. He was always in the back corner of the classroom with his headphones on, writing in his journal. I mean, sure, Redd sat next to him, but he was so quiet that Redd never noticed him. One day during class, Redd is having a conversation about a movie they saw recently. Thank you, Ray, for coming up with it with me. It's The Dark Knight, the movie that Heath Ledger was in. It's also a part in their story where Redd thinks Heath Ledger's overrated, and like the time they're talking about this movie is also the year that Heath Ledger died. So Oliver's like a diehard Heath Ledger fan. So he's like defending the movie because it was Heath Ledger was in it. So yeah, that's the movie that Ray helped me come up with. So they were talking shit about the movie. Oliver taps on Redd's desk with his pen, and Redd turns around to see some ink smudge on Oliver's face. Before Oliver can even start the conversation, Redd is cupping Oliver's face while wiping off the ink with her jacket. So Redd is like a physical touch person, but like they don't have no physical like touch awareness. Like they just like if there's something messed up on your face, they will literally reach at you and like do that. Kind of me, but if I don't know the person, I won't do that. But like if I know the person and I know they're chill with that, I'll probably, or I'll accidentally do it and be like, yo, can I fix that for you? You know? I kind of projected a little bit into Redd, but not much. More. I think I'm more Celeste. No. Yeah, I'm Celeste mixed with Ronnie, I think. Yeah. Mostly Celeste, though. And a bit of Orion. And Arnold. I'm a mix of all my characters. I put a little piece of myself into everyone. Oliver asks why they didn't like the movie. Redd says, I don't know. It just sucked. Oliver looks deadpan at Oliver looks deadpan at Redd and says, seriously? They have a little spat about how that wasn't a valid answer. The bell rings. Oh. Signaling school is over, and they walk outside still arguing. Redd asks Oliver if he wants to hang out for a bit. Oliver immediately blurts out yes, because this is the first time that like anyone besides like film nerds has talked to him. And Redd's quite popular at school because, you know, slut. But they're also like a get along with everybody type person, except for they secretly hate all of them. Like I said, asshole. Redd takes Oliver to their favorite smoking spot and offers Oliver a blunt. Oliver declines. Lame, Redd says. They start smoking theirs and sit down. Redd asks Oliver, what's with the bruises? Oliver looks at Redd, and they are looking at him with worry all over their face. He explains his situation at home. Redd, being the asshole they are, says, well, at least you have a mom, and takes a drag of their blunt. Oliver just stares at Redd. They start provoking Oliver. Staring at me won't do anything. If you want something, say it. Oliver keeps staring. Redd says, what are you doing, undressing me with your fucking staring? If you want to undress me, at least give me something first. Oliver starts explaining frantically that he isn't trying to undress them, and he just is in shock about the comment they made. Redd stares at him, waiting for him to stop yapping. They get all up close in Oliver's face and just stare at him with a grin. He asks, what are you doing? Redd says, debating if I like you or not. Redd grabs Oliver's chin and asks him to open his mouth. They blow smoke in his mouth. Oliver blows it back at Redd. Wow, you must have experience with blowing shit, Redd says in a teasing manner. Oliver states, you act like film nerds aren't mostly always stoners. After that day, they became really close. Really close. Like, they were like friends with benefits, but like without like kissing at the point, well, they kissed a couple times, but like, they were like, nah, we're gonna stay friends, but they would like cuddle and stuff, because like, that's how me and my best friend are. We cuddle. I've known her for 17 years. I love you, Ava. I love you. Anyways, there's a party going on at the beginning of junior year where shit goes down. Oliver gets outed by his boyfriend. The boyfriend was with him for like a year as a prank, like months, almost a year, I guess, as like a prank. In front of all the people at the party, he runs to a room after drinking a shit ton. He ends up in a room where Redd is making out with a chick. Don't ask who the chick is. I don't know, and I don't care. Redd's like they're like tipsy, but like a little bit far past tipsy. Oliver's about to black out. The girl leaves and Oliver grabs Redd and they start making out. Redd stops him frantically saying, "You have a boyfriend and you're really drunk. I don't think this is okay. I know I'm a slut, but like, no, I'm not a cheater, okay? I'm not a like they didn't say that part, but they're like frantically like, no, you are not ruining my reputation like that. Don't even. It's like, I like you, but like, nah, when you have a boyfriend. That's what it's like. Oliver breaks down saying that he got outed and he isn't loved anywhere he goes. He's just like spewing nonsense most of the time. He's just saying every single thought that comes into his head, and Redd's just like, whoa, what? Are you okay? Like, they're like so confused. He's having a full-on panic attack and breakdown. Redd just holds his face and tells him it's gonna be okay. Redd calls their sister, Francine, to give them a ride. Oliver spends that night with Redd. He then soon moves in with the De La Rue family, and Redd starts to date Oliver at the end of junior year. Okay, before rehab, this is new. From here on is new. After high school, Redd and Oliver get an apartment together. The way they kept their house wasn't like the average person. It was very messy, but it worked, due to them barely sleeping there half the time. Redd would take Oliver to every party that was happening, and they'd get fucked up. Oliver would be the sober one most of the time. He was a stoner and a light drinker, but nothing more than that. He didn't really like drinking. Redd, on the other hand, would take anything you'd give them, except heroin. If you offered them it or mentioned it, they would start cussing at you and make a huge deal out of it. Their mom's death was because of heroin. She used it to end her life. Redd, however, was a cocaine fiend. It was their favorite, along with weed and hallucinogens. They loved the high they would get on those. Basically party drugs. Anything. But due to it being illegal in their state, they would not get to have it often. Coke. So when they went to parties, they had a decent supply of it. They would smuggle a couple extra bumps for the road and put it in their bra. So like they'd have little baggies at the parties Redd would go to, and they'd like grab a handful of them and then shove them in their bra, because like no one's gonna notice like a whole bunch of freaking little bags in their bra because they already got big tits. Like, this behavior went on until their 22nd birthday, the night they almost killed someone and themselves. Celeste was the person that almost died. Celeste being the younger sister of Redd. This was where shit goes down. I'm probably going to rewrite a little bit of it. Redd took Celeste to her first party. Oliver didn't go because he worked that night, and so like he dropped them off and went to work, because Redd pre-games everything. Yeah. Redd starts letting Celeste try all of their favorite party drugs. Celeste gets really fucked up very quick. Redd keeps giving her more and more, not realizing Celeste is a newbie, so her tolerance is really low. So like they don't realize that they've been giving her stuff like they've been giving her like the same thing multiple times. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, you haven't tried this yet. Here." And like Celeste can't like really think about that because she's taking multiple different drugs and she's also fucked up. So they're both like going, "Yeah, let's do it. Yeah." Like, and Redd forgets that she's she's a newbie. She's never done any of this. Celeste collapses. The party halts and everyone surrounds Celeste and starts calling for help. So like asking people around, being like, "Yo, hide the drugs. We gotta call for help. We gotta call an ambulance or something because a girl just collapsed. I think she's new. She looks pretty young. We gotta help." Someone ends up calling Oliver because Redd disappears, and also because that's, Redd and Celeste ride, and also he's literally Redd's boyfriend. Why would he not be informed that the sister just collapsed at the party he just dropped his lover off at? So when Oliver gets there, he is frantically trying to find Redd until he finds them standing on the balcony, about to jump off. He yells at Redd. They freeze and turn around to see him. They're sobbing. They're like eyes all red, snot, sobbing. Oliver rushes over to them. He helps them down and get onto the bed in the room. Redd is inconsolable, like they're freaking out. They think that their sister's dead. Like they literally are freaking out. They thought they just killed their sister. Like that's what they were trying to end their life. They're like, I can't do anything. I just killed my own sister. I guess I'll die too. And so Celeste gets to the hospital and she's okay. When she shows up, she shows up unannounced to Redd's apartment when she's just discharged. She yells at Redd, telling them they need to seek help and go to rehab. She tells them they both could have died that night. She tells them not to contact her and walks to her car and leaves. So Redd goes to rehab. They stay at the facility for 2.5 years until they're 24, going on 25. During those 2 years, the family did not contact them nor visit, partially because they were all busy with their own things, but also because of the incident that happened to Celeste. And when I mean my family, I mainly mean Celeste and like Orion and Arnold. Like Orion definitely wanted to come visit Redd, but he was so busy with work because him and Arnold is a digital comic artist, and they were making a game and they had a deadline with like a company, so like they were trying to get the game out. And then also Francine visited Redd after she gave birth to twins, but she was also dealing with postpartum, so she didn't get to visit as much as she would like, but she came to visit like a couple weeks after they were born and released from the hospital. So Francine did visit, but Celeste, I think maybe Orion and Arnold got to visit a couple times, but like not often. Celeste didn't visit once. Oliver did, obviously, because that's their boyfriend. Okay, because they were busy and also because of the incident. Okay, after rehab, when Redd gets out of rehab, they move back in with Oliver. The apartment's clean now, a fresh start, just what they needed. The family still doesn't contact Redd for a few months until Redd is 25. So for their birthday, the family plans a surprise dinner for Redd. After Redd gets out of their psychiatrist appointment, Oliver picks them up and they go to a restaurant. Because on the day they go, Oliver like, okay, we have a date because it's your birthday, or like it's your birthday, we're going on a date. We're going to a cute restaurant, wear something cute or something nice, but like modest, you know. They both walk in and are greeted with their family, balloons, streamers, etc., etc. So the restaurant's probably, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be owned by like a family friend or something because it was like rented out. Redd then, their family surrounds them for a big hug. They catch up and talk. Redd then notices how they left a spot open for their mom with her picture in the spot where her food would be. They all wrap up and say their goodbyes. Redd and Oliver go home that night while Oliver is sleeping. Redd goes and retrieves an old bump they had hidden in their bag. They contemplate taking it or throwing it away. They take it. 1. Things go back to normal. Normal routine, normal interactions, totally normal Redd. Withdrawals are the worst thing for them, but they should be gone, or at least better now, because they've been sober for 3 years. Or so everyone thought. Sometimes at Redd's work, regulars would give them a pill or two so they can up their performance, or what the client said, put more pep in their step. Redd wouldn't do it every time, only when they were getting paid good money. 2. This whole cycle goes on until Redd turns 26. This is the year they stop sneaking around. They stop cold turkey. They don't buy it secretly anymore or accept it from clients. They quit. Celeste invites them to get a drink or two. Redd is good with their liquor, so 1 or 2 should be fine. But 10 shots later, they get hammered. This was like straight liquor. Like it wasn't like anything like weak. It was like liquor, probably like soju or something. It's probably something strong. I don't know yet. Probably not vodka, because that's literally what Redd would drink like all the time. So they probably have a tolerance. Probably soju. I'm gonna be so honest. They start spouting stupid shit they heard on TV or social media, like brain rot, basically. And Celeste just laughs at them. She calls Oliver to come get them. When they get home, Redd tries to have sex with Oliver. He declines, and Redd starts crying, asking him if it's because they started using again. Oliver looks at Redd, angry. What? The next morning when Redd wakes up, Oliver's gone. They call him, voicemail. They try again. Straight to voicemail. Redd keeps trying. They open the front door, and there's Oliver, about to open the door. Celeste behind him. Redd backs up, confused. Oliver extends his hand, telling Redd that they're taking them back to rehab for a few months. Death. A few months pass, and Redd is out again, back in their apartment with the love of their life, how it should be. 3 months after they are let out of rehab, Oliver has to go to work late one night, so Redd decides to watch a movie with a glass of their favorite red wine and a little bump of Coke. These do this all the time. What's the harm? 3. So that part has changed. Okay. Let me open my notes app. No more movie. They go out and party with their friends. So, like, they're, like, just party buddies. Not really friends. They are having they're really having bad withdrawals and end up peer pressuring themselves to take some drugs. They end up taking a few too many doses of a new drug they never heard of. A heroin cocktail of sorts. They don't know that. They were just like, yeah, it's like crazy. It's party drug. It's like Coke. It's like this. It's like that. And they're like, okay. They get sick, and their friends drop them off and leave them at their place. Redd rushes to the bathroom and takes another bump of that new drug, and they think it's not hitting fast enough, so they take a syringe and shoot in their arm. They throw up more, and everything starts distorting in their view. They look in the bathroom mirror and see their mom. But it's not her. It's them. They think they're their mom. Redd's hair is up, so it looks like their mom's hair. Okay, their hair was short. They go get a glass of wine. They spill a bit when pouring it, and they get sick again. They run to the bathroom. This time, they throw up some blood. They freak out and start pacing in the bathroom. They fall and hit their head on the floor. It knocks them out. Except it doesn't. The drugs start kicking in, and it kills them. So when Oliver gets back, hang on. So the amount they had shot into their body was lethal. They didn't know that. They never tried heroin. A few hours later, Oliver gets home. He sees the wine the wine dripped on the floor. So they're going all about. He checks everywhere for Redd. He does not find them. He's freaking out, thinking that something happened to Redd. And then he gets to the bathroom. He drops the box he was carrying. A ring falls out of it and rolls right next to Redd. And, like, wine had fell, so, like, there's wine around them. So the wine that surrounds his lover's cold, dead body. The day Redd died was exactly 3 weeks before their 27th birthday, and the day that Oliver planned to propose. Extra story info. During the stuff with Mary, Redd struggled really bad with self-harm. Their arms were the main area of focus, along with their thighs. Almost every place she would, like, touch, like, actively, so, like, rubbing their shoulders, they would cut up here, and, like, their forearms, she'd grab them and whatnot. Whether it was self-harm, cuts, whether it was cuts or burns or deep scratches, like, they would, like, dig their fingernails and scratch themselves. It had been affected by their self-harm. It got better when she was arrested, but they still struggle with it while in rehab the first time. It got a lot better after they were released. It never really stopped, though. The cutting did. The burns were less common, so they didn't have to happen often, but the scratching didn't stop. So they'd actively still scratch. But, like, the cigarette burn marks were normally only when they didn't have an ashtray. Like, that's how often it happens. They're like, well, it's like, yeah. That's mostly all the Redd lore I have so far. Okay. And then here is the scene with Arnold and Redd. This is like whenever Redd's addiction's still happening. So, setting Arnold's one-bedroom apartment's living room. It's almost nighttime. The mood is heavy. Context after a long conversation, full of apologies and self-reflection, and even a heavier topic gets brought up. Mary. Redd. She hurt you too? Arnold, yeah, she did. So, the part where I said earlier where they both had to do something together, I want to say it's blocked out of their memories because, you know, their parents were married, kind of sort of indirect incest. So they both block it out. They don't remember it, like, at all. Probably also because you'll understand the context about this later. Like, I'm about to read the context. I was about to explain, but I don't want to spoil it. So Redd says, was it, like, all the way or just touching? If that's a hard question, don't feel pressured to answer, dude. So, like, Redd's being all nonchalant with it. They're like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm depressed. Like, and Arnold's like, no, she, like, hurt me. So, like, keep in mind that. The only way I can explain how they are is Arnold's nice Jax, evil Jax, and Redd's Jax regularly from the Amazing Digital Circus. That's the only way I can think of it. So Arnold, all the way, she would give me some medicine to make me a bit sleepy sometimes, and she'd start touching me, and she would hit me if I didn't stay still or do something right. I had to go to the doctor the first few times because of how rough she was down there. Redd, oh, Arnie, I didn't know how much. I know how much that would hurt. Have you had any issues from that, like mentally or physically? I mean, I did, still kind of do. Hypersexuality and also problems when getting rough in bed, especially if I'm on the receiving end. But it's not about me. How long did she, for a few years, but then she started, grooming you, and she stopped paying attention to me. As a kid, I was so jealous because I wanted her attention, but you got it so effortlessly. You can talk about your experience too, by the way. We both dealt with it, but to answer the other question, I have a very hard time with intimacy and love in general. I'm ace as of right now, but I think I'm just using it as a label to protect myself. Redd, oh damn. Yeah, she raped me for most of my teen years. Well, it wasn't only rape, but, like, that's all I remember. Some of the things she did to me, I can't really remember, but I know she was she has taken videos and pictures of me because I remember the flash and her holding my face while she made me, yeah. But I don't want her attention. Although I missed my mom, I didn't want a replacement. Oh yeah, and sexuality is so hard, dude. I just say I'm pansexual because I fuck who I want. With Ollie's permission, of course. Okay, so Redd and Oliver were both filmed and videographed and photographed during all that. I forgot who I put that on, so I'm just gonna say they probably both were. So silence fills the room. Arnold gets up from the floor and walks over to the couch and sits next to Redd. He's crying a bit, his head laying on Redd's shoulder. I'm sorry, Redd. I know. I am too. They turn towards Arnold and they hug, consoling each other in tears. And then I've also... Okay, so that's all of their lore. I made a body chart for Redd. This is all, like, the features and stuff they'd have. IRL. Like, skin tone and all that jazz. I'll probably post it later on Instagram or whatever. So, yeah. That's all I really have relating to Redd. I haven't really worked on anyone else. I've been trying to work on Oliver, but I don't have the motivation right now. But I'm very passionate about my writing, and if anyone ever, like, wants me to help them with lore or, like, act out part of their script so they can feel emotion, I'd love to help because I love narrating, I love voice acting, I love writing, I love anything that involves getting into a character's mind or into their space. As you could probably already tell, I'm a theater kid, but, like, yeah. And I know that was a lot of sensitive topics, and if I got sidetracked, I'm sorry. Also, if you're drawing right now, send me a picture, okay? And if you're, like, doing a craft, also send me a picture. Like, if you're crocheting, if you're knitting, if you're animating, I know you are, Eden. Literally send me what y'all did. And if y'all ever want to do fan art or Redd, that would be great. I love my babies. I love that so much, guys. I literally want to find someone online and be like, can you please cosplay my character? I will literally cry. I will literally draw art for you. Please, 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 please. Like, I kind of want to get one of my friends. I know a friend who kind of gives off Redd's vibe. like look-wise and also regular vibe-wise. But then also, I based Oliver off their personality. Hi, Ray. But I low-key really want to ask, Ray, if you're watching this, could you, when you come back, can you please cosplay Redd? I will literally get everything ready. I really just want to. You look like how I envision Redd if they were on the more masculine side. So I low-key might make a gender swap version, and then like, not gender swap, but like more masculine version, like their teen years style, and then have you cosplay them. Yeah. If you enjoy these types of videos for me, let me know. I would love to read people's OC lore. I would love, send me y'all's OC lore, and I would love to make a video of me just talking, like reading your stories. Actually, please do that. I know y'all know my Instagram. Please. Please. I really want to read y'all's OC lore. Please. Please. Anyways, like the video, comment your favorite part, or you know, your least favorite because you hate me. And I'll see you whenever I post, I guess. I make videos now, I guess. Bye. Follow my Instagram. I'm gonna go to my basement. Ciao.